As you can see, there is no more trunk lid on the car. So I can get in here now and go to town sanding that all out and finishing in there, and the paint's drying up, and I got the hood on. Nothing's lined up, so I can't close the hood. I don't want to scratch anything, but it looks pretty good. I forgot to put these on the inner fenders before I set the fender on, but only 2 bolts are in place on that loosely. One of them doesn't even have a nut on it. The only bolt threaded in. This one just kind of sitting here. And this is the only one that's actually threaded into anything. So I'll pop the fender off and put these on, and then I can line everything up. And I don't know, I'm not going to be lining this fender up until after I finish the door. So I can make it enough to where I can put the hood down, you know, so I can get the car in and out of the garage, or put it down enough. But I think it looks pretty darn nice. And I put that decal on too. That's a little bit of a, there. Kind of work them out because they're on a rounded surface. They're a little bit of work to get to look good, but that is on there, and the hinges look nice there. There we be. Alright, so looks nice with the hood open too, all nice and clean and green instead of dirty and cruddy. It looks a lot different from before. If you go back to my earlier videos when I first opened the hood and show the engine compartment, yeah, it looks quite a bit different. So that's on. That was a bit of a chore. I had stuffed rags and sheets and everything around the fenders and the hood, and then I just kind of carefully brought it over here and propped it up and started the bolts on one side at a time. It was a bit of a chore, but it went on fairly easy. It isn't as heavy as it looks. The trunk lid probably weighs about the same, and so I'm going to get to working on that rust on the trunk lid. So I'll fold this edge back, and then I'll just cut this out where I need to, bend a new piece, and I can fold that back over and with this all welded where it needs to be welded. This is just where the weather strip caused it to surface rust. The only holes are right in from about here to there is what I got to repair. Everything else looks pretty good. That's just seam sealer. It's seam sealer there, so I think we'll get this thing cleaned up pretty good. You can see inside fairly clean. And all this is fairly clean. More seam sealer stuff, globs of it. But we'll get all that cleaned up, completely re-seam seal the edges. All the edges of this are, and most cars they're seam sealed, and that you can see just pops out. So we'll get that all out and re-caulk it. I have to get a new jacking instructions sheet, seeing I'm going to be painting this side of the trunk. And yeah, it looks good. Looks really, really nice. That was just lining the hood up by using the marks from where it was originally bolted. And I think, you know, this isn't even tight. This is just kind of sitting here. But I might take this out because I want to strip it and paint it. And there's no hood bumpers, or like I say, the fenders aren't bolted on. Everything, the fenders are just hanging there loosely. But I wanted to get it on so I could get the trunk lid off. And I want to, you know, get the rear paint. I want to get the rest of the body paint done. And then when the bugs and pollen, I can take my time, you know, the bugs and pollen out and get everything lined up and bolted on and get the car back together. But I just needed to, you know, get the hood on the car to get it out of my way so I could work on this. And I'm going to need to get the door. And again, you know, there's no, the bumpers are not on the car for the hood. But the door needs to come off so I can do that. And then, you know, once this is all painted, it's going to look nice. And get this, I got to paint this. I might do that before I paint this too. So if I get overspray, it doesn't ruin it. You know, I can mask all the car off and clean up the top mechanism, change this header piece and paint it all up nice. Gotta change the top cylinders too. This is the next day, and I'm still just kind of putzing around with the Galaxie. This is Easter Sunday, so happy Easter, everybody. As you can see, I have on my Sunday's Finest. I thought I'd break down today and put on my finest sweatshirt I own, you know, so I wear my best on Sunday. Anyway, I want to get back to what I was doing here on the Galaxie. I was going to put some of these letters on, and I can't find the little, I ordered new barrel clips to hold them on, and you think I can find them anywhere. I searched for probably half the day yesterday and finally gave up and just ordered some more. And I also need to find this letter R. You can see it's in rough shape. The original letters, you know, they're like this and this are the original letter. The D is, and that's usable. It's not offensive. It's actually looks pretty good, especially when it's on the car. But the R, yeah, it just doesn't look good. The F and the O are like brand new. Those ones Bill Lane sent me from when he sent me some other parts. He added these, and I polished them up, and they literally look like brand new. I mean, look at the back even. They're off an Arizona parts car. Probably that same car the convertible top cylinders came off of. But anyway, there we be. We got, I did find a used letter on eBay, a used letter R that's in better shape than this one. I had to pay $13 for it though, you know, shipping and everything. But there was an NOS one on there, and it was $40, and it's like, no, I'm not spending $40 for that. That's just not happening. And you know, this car originally, when I started on this car, it was going to be a fun summer cruiser, you know, and then I had to pull the engine and go through it. You know, I thought maybe I could get the engine freed up and running, but I had to pull it and go through it and then paint it up. And I thought, why, it's out, you know, I'll paint the engine compartment. And one thing led to another, and it's gone from like summer cruiser quality to concourse quality almost, and I just, you know, that wasn't my goal. And it's almost going to be too nice to drive. And so anyway, I'm going to try and start, you know, getting this cleaned up today, and you know, around the trunk lip here. I'll work on this a little bit today. I also wanted to show you the little tree out in the back that I've always put my lights in. It's in bloom. Let me get a little video of that. About half the flowers are in bloom, so some years that thing you can't see through it. It's so solid with flowers, but it's there. Give you a little close-up. Got all kinds of things. I mean, for this time of year, there's some over here too. That's a neat plant. Got a neat leaf on it. And these are in bloom. And those are in bloom. I mean, things are really starting to come to life. These are, I can't say the name right now. And they have big white flowers on them. And they, you know, look at the buds on this. I also did my taxes today so I could get my stimulus check. And in doing the taxes, since I've been doing videos on this car, I've made almost close to $3,000 in AdSense revenue. So thank you, everybody. It really helps. You know, that's money I can put in. Well, I probably put most all of it into this car already, but I'm leaving it what's been deposited lately so I can use it towards the convertible top. Yeah, if you go back when I first bought the car, the original ones were just really nasty. And I was going to put the 352 emblems on, but again, I couldn't find the barrel clips. I was just, you know, horsing around. The hood, I don't know, sometimes the way I look at it when I walk around, it looks great most of the ways, but some ways I don't like the way it looks. So that may be down the road, maybe in the fall, November, December, I might pop it off and just strip it down and reshoot the hood. But for now, it looks fine. I'm not going to worry about it. And I want to get back to, you know, getting this all done out. Just doing a little wire wheeling on the drill motors. It's, you know, it's all full. I should get the vacuum and vacuum it out, but it's definitely cleaning the crud out of that channel. And where I did it in the trunk, and I'm just using this little one on the drill motor. Where I did it in the trunk, it really cleaned the rust too. So I think I'm gonna put the wheel, the stiff wheel, on my angle grinder, and when the car's outside, maybe, I think, and Tuesday is supposed to be the next nice day. Maybe I'll take it out and clean that all up really good. And my zinc chromate primer is scheduled to be delivered Monday, but it's coming FedEx, so I think that'll arrive. I've not had problems with getting stuff from FedEx or UPS, but USPS, oh my God. Some things I ordered 3 weeks ago haven't arrived yet, and it shows they're in the distribution center in Pontiac or Oak Park. And so I guess the coronavirus has done the toll on the postal service around here, because getting my mail is hit and miss, and getting packages is becoming rare from them. So the speckle paint's coming USPS. So, you know, that might, you know, that's my problem now, is I'm starting to need things, and I'm getting things online because I can't just run to the paint store, and getting it delivered is starting to become an issue. So I may be coming to a standstill here soon from lack of supplies. I mean, I can get the jamb painted. I have the paint and everything to do that. And if the primer comes, I can get this primed, and then I can just paint this, you know, and maybe I can get this primed. I can paint that with this primed. I just don't want to put the paint on this until that's painted. Does that show up? It states 4, then a space, then 13, then dash C3 if it doesn't. But that just kind of reminds me, you know, tomorrow is the 13th of April. So that panel may have been stamped on the 13th April 1966, I'm assuming. And for my new viewers, this car was manufactured in Mahwah, New Jersey, and it rolled off the assembly line on April 29th, 1966. So most of the components on this car are date coded for the month of April. I've had a couple of viewers recommend I call the car April. I don't generally name my cars, but it fits it, you know. I mean, April is a good name for the car. It was manufactured in April. And if you do the Wikipedia on the Ford assembly plant in Mahwah, New Jersey, it's still there. It's the world headquarters, I think, for Land Rover, Range Rover, or whatever. And in the time when the plant was manufactured in 1955, it was the largest manufacturing plant in the world. And it manufactured over 6 million cars and closed in, I think, June of '80 as Ford assembly line. And it also, on Wikipedia, tells all the cars that rolled off that assembly line. Mercury's, Fords, you know, I mean, all of them it lists. So it sounds like, you know, a lot of, this car rolled off a state-of-the-art assembly line along with a lot of other cars and other brands, including the Mercury Turnpike Cruiser, and which I think was only built a couple of years, that option package. So anyway, there we go. I just thought I'd throw in this little tidbit of information. Slowly working away at it. I've spent probably an hour, and you know, I have blocks of wood and all kinds of things, you know, but it's just easiest just take my old worn out sandpaper and just get in here, fold it over whatever way I need to, you know. You can see where I've been folding it on seams, and just go to town. And that's the best way to do it. You know, blocks of wood, sometimes they just get in the way and takes me more time. So I find just using sandpaper in my hands, and you can see here when Ford leaded that joint where they spattered lead and slopped it and the body filler, and this was pretty tore up looking when I took it apart from the factory. So I'm gonna just sand that out a little bit more, and you know, so it looks a little nicer, and finish sanding the, I got a sand in the channel. I wire wheeled in the channel, but I haven't sanded anything in it yet. So I'm just sanding this right now, and then I'll go around and get in there and throw a quick coat of zinc chromate on it, and maybe start masking it tomorrow or the next day to paint the green. I sanded this out, and that's ready to, I'm going to put some zinc chromate so I can seam seal there. There's other seams I got to seal too. And then, you know, anyway, I'll get it primed, and then, you know, I still got a lot of work to do on the trunk, so, but I want to paint the jamb before I paint the trunk floor, because I'm going to probably have to get in the trunk to paint up in there and stuff. So I don't want to be crawling around on fresh paint, tearing it up with my knees or my feet or anything. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I think the jamb is pretty much all ready for paint. Spent probably about 4 hours sanding that up and around here. This was already pretty much all done, and I primed all the way down to, as you can see, that bottom bit there, and all up in this underside of that. So tomorrow I'll sand this out in here and get this ready to paint, primed up. And I'll seam seal, once the zinc chromate dries, 24 hours, that joint and the joints. A lot of joints that need to be sealed up with some seam sealer. So I'll go around and take care of all that. And we'll be ready to put some green paint on there. I'm going to call it a day. Spent quite a bit of time out here sanding today. My fingers are a little, feel like they've been sanded too. But anyway, you know, if you Wikipedia the Mahwah assembly plant for the Galaxie, Google map it too. It's, you know, it's still there, still an interesting building, and see where this neat old Galaxie was built. And so anyway, that's it for this video. If you like it, hit the like button. If you like to see this beautiful old Galaxie return to its former glory, subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching.